Good morning. My name is Renzel Ann Manalo, and I'm going to report the number 11 Code of Ethics. Be industrious, be not afraid or ashamed to do manual labor, productive to toil, and conductive to economic security, and adds to the wealth of nation. Sa Tagalog ay maging masipag. Huwag ikatakot o ikahiya ang pagbabarat ng buto. Ang pagiging masipag ay daan tungo sa isang matatag na kabuhayan at sa yaman ng bansa. Life is work. Man perfect himself by working. Man reinforce himself by industry. Great ends necessarily demand great labor. There is virtue in spade in the who. There is much as nobility in plowing the field as in writing on philosophy. Labor leads the mind of men to serious things. It sharpens the mind of men by study. It inspires many vigor by exercise and discipline. And it leads to intense cultivation of land, so essential to the life of an agricultural nation. By labor, by work, by industry, jungles and cleared barren lands are made to yield fair fields arise and stately cities born. Jacinto said, many are ashamed to work principally and wealthy, to power and the learned who make a vain show of the which they style in comforts of life or corporal well-being. And they finished it by leading miserable and abject life tends to bring out the destruction of human race. Whatever is useful, whatever tends to make life easier, that less support because it is a result well worthy of our efforts. He who tools give away from life of miserable and bad habits are burden, find diversion of labor, and become strong, prosperous, and cheerful. God wants us to work because if we see ourselves surrounded with all we need in swim abundance, it is a result of our effort, hence without doubt work in neither punishment or penalty, but a reward and a blessing best down by God the found man through the grace of his great love. Bonifacius said in his duties of the son of the people, diligence is the effort to earn means the subsistence and genuine love of oneself, one wife, son, daughter, brother, sister, and compatriot. Josie Acosta, after many years of continuous hard work, was able to acquire large tract of land and leave a legacy which constitute one of the biggest fortune of the province of Ilocos Norte. Work unsignly, he was one to tell his children, for if a man does not work, the soil will produce only weeds. Stephen Malala Rizal, who was able to eke out the competence from the humble business of duck raising, illustrated patient assiduity and love of work. To save what he would otherwise, he paid for wages. He did odd jobs in his business whatever he could. Moreover, he employed his student son during vacation to accustom them to habit of work. General Miguel Malbaro Patangas, famed revolutionary hero, exemplified on his private life and dignity of labor, said Villamor of him. Since his childhood, he shown of love of work, even going of far as mow grass, which he himself carried on his shoulder to sell it down. Far from giving himself up to leisure and entertainment during the long vacation, he employed this time in purchase the sale article, the proceeds of which he gave up to his mother, in order to make his occupation more profitable, he employed himself in the care of domestic plough. Such was his industry that after the revolution he devoted himself anew to agriculture and commerce with the fervor of enthusiasm that he was able to leave his children extensive farms at the time of death. Next is rely on your own efforts for your progress and happiness. Be not easily discouraged, persevere in the pursuit of your legitimate ambition. Our life is what we make it. If we to succeed, if we are to succeed, it is necessary to be passive reliance, courage, and perseverance. For out of these qualities, now new strength is born which is well and available as to incident, the sky reciting the winds by its own self-sufficiently. Therefore, you trust yourself to be courage and persevere in your task. In the life of Apolinario Mabini, we see a shining example of self-reliance and perseverance. Over their poverty and physical implementing born of parents in his life was a constant struggle against untold hardship and suffering. His studies were repeatedly interrupted for lack of funds, and yet in hard work, surely tendency and self-denial, he was able to finish his law course, which, though belated, was attained with highest honor. Friends and admirers offered himself financial assistance during his student days, but he constantly refused their proper generous and he own favor and first do not commit, and he was thus able to maintain unshakable firmness or purpose and singular independence through and action to the end of his life.